because they're taking advantage of a busted supply chain. It's that flippin' simple. Anyway, to kick this video off, I'm going to unbox a beautiful Thomas 80th anniversary. Oh my goodness me. Guess what? It's got a factory error, and this loser's going to be crying his heart out when he sees what I did to this beautiful Thomas, the 80th anniversary flippin' tank. I'm just going to get this Thomas into the perfect position, but having elf arms ain't helping. I gotcha, and come this way. I'm just going to set you up at the perfect angle for Mr. Hammer. Looks like a good angle of a dangle to me. Okay, Mr. Hammer, time to play. Mr. Hammer's so flippin' heavy. Come on, Mr. Hammer. We're going to have a smashing good time. Don't you go, Mr. Hammer. Aim for Thomas's #1.
Okay, I'm up at Erina Fair Shopping Centre. This is about a 40-minute drive north of where I live in Sydney. I've come up to try to find some more classic Thomas & Friends stuff. There's a big W here. It's June 17 today. It's a beautiful winter's day. I tell you, it's just beautiful. I absolutely love Erina Fair, and look up on the ceiling there. There's a sign there for Christmas in July. That'd be a foreign thought for people overseas. Okay, this is where I want to be. Big W, Erina Fair. Oh, the cattle dogs are so neatly displayed here. I might just grab one without upsetting the apple pile. It's a bit of a different layout here in the toy sale. I'm going to try to find the Thomas & Friends toys that are for sale in the cattle dog. Well, I'm not a doll person, but I reckon that's a pretty good price for what you get lined up there. If only it was Thomas toys done like that. Just like Macquarie Centre, I'll tell you what, Barbie is really well represented in this toy sale. It really is. There's so much Barbie stuff out to look at. It's basically everywhere. I just noticed near the toy department there is a stack of boxing here of toys to be unboxed. I wonder whether any of the new Thomas & Friends stock is locked up in this. This is the other side of that pile. I can see a Hot Wheels collector's got into this one. I know how they operate. They get into the stuff before it gets pegged up. That's how it works. If you know your stuff, that's how you operate. Okay, I can see all sorts of toy companies represented here. Oh, there's my good old friends, Moose Toys. That's a nice Australian toy company. In this cage here, I can actually see a Thomas & Friends thing here. Is here. Okay, but it's all caged up at the moment. It's not out on floor. Okay, more stock here. And all I seem to is, I keep seeing Barbie. It is so featured in this toy sale. Looking back that way, Blue is well represented as usual. And hey, there's another lot of Barbie there for you, just to trigger you. I'm up in the baby-fied part of the store, and I'm seeing, I'll call it the baby-fied sort of stuff that you see babies play with. And here's the Fisher-Price stand here. So you'd think if you had baby-fied AEG, it's going to be in this zone, wouldn't you? I could do a mini Where's Thomas here. Okay, we've got a Barbie car seat for young ones there. Looks spiffo. We've got a Hot Wheels one as well. That'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? But hey, where's Thomas? And that is the big problem. Another pallet of stuff here. Okay, I think it's ladies' clothes. Oh, look at that. RFID tagged. A sign of the times. Sorry for the pun. Nice to see. I found the My Busy books here, and of course the All Engines Go Thomas & Friends one is here. Let's just be loud and proud that there's something Thomas & Friendsy here. I always like taking a look at these models here. They are so spectacular. Absolutely frippin' love that. I had a chat to a very nice staff here. This is the, call it middle of store, the toy zone for the toys special. In a sense, the toy sale, of course, I'm sorry, but Barbie is so overrepresented. It is just in your face everywhere. he told me there was some Thomas stuff in these aisles here. So we'll do the right thing. Thankfully the new music has been turned down. It flares me up having music. When I was in Macquarie Centre the other day with no music, it was actually like, okay, here we are. Okay, cool. They have got the big set here, and that was the other item on special. And there's the baby table, which, yeah, it looked like it was down there. They've gone. Okay, that's the Baby Eyes Ball Engines Go James Knapford Station. Okay, that's pull down price, $24. Maybe it's best if I say nothing about that set. For the fact that they're still here, maybe says a lot. But this set here, I can tell you some things about this set here. I think it's a very, very good price. Very good price. And it is a one-trick pony in a sense, but the one-trick pony's cranky, so I'll let them off for that. I mean, if you got a one-trick pony that's a character, that's not too bad in my books. Well, back in the day when I used to review this type of product on YouTube, it's very dangerous grounds these days, I would have certainly looked at this playset. It is spectacular. It's a nice big box. It would be very impressive under the Christmas tree. And it's a talking playset. I'm really not a big fan of talking playsets. It looks like Cranky talks via that button there, which is that button there. And it's also got a talking Thomas. But the most important thing to get your head around when you look at these playsets, and this is the thing I always talk to consumers about, oh, nearly fell on me here, is there's a panel here that really tells you what's going on here. And it's that panel up there. If I get this down on the ground, it's going to be easy to explain instead of me reaching up and looking like a goose. This panel here decodes what's value in this playset. It's 27 pieces, which isn't very much. The big one-trick pony in this is Cranky, but it looks awesome. It's an awesome looking Cranky, and it's a talking one. It's got a custom Thomas, which is a talker as well. The Troublesome truck has got a face, and it looks nice, that Troublesome truck. But maybe the letdown of this playset is the fact, well, we're getting back to 27 pieces. There's not that many other track parts to this, in a sense of what sort of layout you could make from what's there. I'm giving it the thumbs up, and I'm the hardest marker in the world in this stuff. If you like Cranky, it's a playset for you. If you like talking Thomas stuff, it's also for you. The box is really heavy, really heavy. I'll just get it up here single-handedly, back up on display. And I was sort of thinking back at my other local Big W, if that makes any sense. This playset is sold out, and I'm surprised it hasn't sold out here. $52, that's a great price for that playset. Maybe think of it like this: when Thomas All Engines Go is run out of town and we no longer see it, imagine how much you could flog that playset there on eBay for. I better go up to the traditional Thomas area before I get into any more trouble. Okay, the Thomas toy cell area is here. I tell you what, it's neat and tidy. It's very crispy. And I'm just going to start at the top here and rake the camera down so you can see what's here. One of the play sets that was on special is there. I've got the 3 packs, looks like Metal Collection play sets in there as well. I can see 5 packs there, 2 packs, Metal Collection stuff. That stupid RC Thomas of not enough wheels. Going down further, motorized play sets, Thomas Minis. And down the bottom there are the 2 items that are on special here during this beautiful toy sale. Well, to save a bunch of time here, I've been through this stuff here. I'm not going to explain everything that's here. The usual players are all playing, if you know what I mean. Dandy the Flipper, plenty of her, always is. There's only one of these as a 2-pack. That's a Percy All Engines Go variation. I think I understand why this doesn't sell. It gets back to what the lady said at the other store. When Thomas is in blue, it can mean trouble. A couple of whiffs here, okay, which is sort of curious as well. But it's when I take a look up at the 3 packs here, there wasn't any Thomas love for me at all. The best way to show you the 3 packs, I should show you these because I think it's interesting to see who's here. And remember, I'm after a Beachy Nia, and I'm also after Carnival Diesel in All Engines Go, but also the 80th stuff. So you're seeing who's here as I pull these out bit by bit. I'll tell you what, I'm noticing, because I've already been through this, a lot of James, that Splash Tank James. Which surprises me. I really thought that would have popped off. I'm actually surprised to still see these here as well, because I think that's one of the excellent 3 packs, greatest moments. Okay, that one there, and another birthday cake Thomas there. Let me shuffle that along that way so we can take a look at that stack there. That's the stock I've shuffled that way. We're going to go bit by bit through this because you like to see what's here. I think it's important to show. Okay, just remember I said Splash Tank James is very well represented here. I think he's actually the most represented If you like Splash Tank James, you come to Erin Affair Big W, you're going to pick up plenty of them. Okay, and that's the last one there. So yeah, I showed you all the 3-packs that are here. It's a good assortment of the 3-packs. I will put this back together. It's curious that some of these are still here. In particular, the one on screen right now. I've got to put the metal collection playsets back to where they were. Okay, that one there. Yeah, and this one here. This is the one which I've talked about scaling issues before. But anyway, I'm putting the store back to how it was. Okay, breaking up from the bottom, the Thomas and Friends toy cell in Erin Affair Big W. It's neat and tidy, but the stock that I came in here to get, which is very hard to find, the 80th classic stuff isn't here. I've only found it in one store so far. And maybe if I go up the top here, when I take a look at Percy's face on the Which Way Bridge, it sort of explains how I feel at the moment. I had a very close scrutiny of the stock that's coming in on pallets, and what I'm not seeing is of course the Thomas stuff, and I'm definitely not interested in Fisher-Price Barney's World. Well, the next logical thing for me to do would be to go to Toymate Erin Affair. That's where I'm headed next. Okay, Toymate Erin Affair, head for the Thomas section. One thing I'll say, it's very quiet in here today. The Thomas area is down here by that strobing light that's going to trigger me at any moment. It's in the role play section. Don't ask me why Thomas and Friends is in role play, but yeah, it's here. It still is here. They haven't moved it, and I'll just carefully come up to the area here and I'll rake the camera down from the top to the bottom, and then I'll just very quickly go in and see if there's stuff here that I'm after. I won't be spending too much time in here. I'll let the video do the talking. A lot of the stuff here I've showed off before in this store. I think it's about 6 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago I was in here. Curious note, and probably the last time you're going to see it, there's the Thomas Wooden Robo 2.0 sheds down there. I'll be grabbing that because, well, once it's gone, it's gone. Coming up to this shelf here, Baby Fight AEG, Talking Near, and they're the 3-packs. I think they're all the same. It's Party Train Percy. Okay, so yeah, no party there for me because I'm after the 80th stuff, the classic 80th stuff. I'll come in on these next. That's a good price for those there. Very good price. Maybe it's a sign of the times. And if I just do that, you can see here, see I'm not going to spend too much time studying this. I think you can see the characters there where there's lots of Henrys, lots of James, not many Gordons. I think there's a couple of Gordons down here further on, and Edwards, and maybe Heroes. Oh, there's Gordons up the back there. There's a hero here. Ashima or Ashmir is there, and I always thought Kenji was the one which was very popular. Rarely did I ever see Kenji mass peg sitting. Very popular. Next to those pegged items, I've got the smaller packs here. Okay, so yeah, last time I was in here I found some spectacular color changes that no one else seemed to have ever seen, but I'm not that lucky this time around. I can see a lot of things here. Well, the usual players, cough, cough, cough. Look at that there, okay? And look down the back there. Okay, yeah. How many times have I seen that? And it's interesting, there's a couple of little bits of newer stock here. Okay, it's Bruno. Because the metal collection down the side will tell me it's a bit of a newer stocked item. Oh, more Fandy the Stupid Flipper. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, it tells a story, doesn't it? Well, I wasn't lucky here at Erin Affair Toymate today. Many times when I've come here, I've struck gold, and I'm still finding that classic 80th anniversary Thomas stuff is very, very tricky to find in retailers, which I find very interesting. Just before I leave Toymate, all my life my name wasn't a popular name, but all of a sudden it's become a very popular name. Look at this. I can get myself a little drinking bottle with my name on it. Lovely. Okay, I'm at Big W Warringah Mall. I've just been through Casey's Toys. They had none of the new Thomas stuff. Hopefully there's going to be some of the new stuff in here. It's the time when their monster mid-year toy sale is on. I'm heading straight to the Thomas area. Okay, this is the Thomas toy sale area here. Let me just stand back here and I'll just do a nice scan down what's there available. And there's nothing really poking out at me as I'm looking here. It's a bit sneaky. This isn't the only Thomas area here. It's been divided up into two, and the other area is actually down there. It's very easy to miss. Okay, so it's down in this section here. Let me get down low and we'll take a look at what's going on here first, and I'll go back to the other pegs. Okay, Thomas Minis here. The remote control Thomas Doodah is there. It's very untidy at the moment, but it's been very busy, this store, obviously. This AEG 5-pack, there's lots of these here. Wow. Yeah, I'm really spooked when that lady in the other store told me when Thomas isn't blue. The 3-packs. Okay. Yeah, I'll just go through these very quickly here. You can see is here. Oh, Splash Tank James. Oh, more Splash Tank James and stuff. Okay. Oops, that was a birthday cake Thomas. Wow, why isn't this stuff selling? Okay, another birthday cake Thomas. Percy Diesel. Remember, I'm after that Carnival Diesel. 2 more Splash Tank James there. Splash Tank James and a Percy. That's it. Let me pull this back. Wow. Remember, I've come in for the new 80th stuff, and I'm gonna have to turn the camera off to restack all this properly. But yeah, I'd say Splash Tank James for some reason is a bit of a hard sell. I'll put it back on properly. I'll put some Splash Tank James at the front there, but this is very low down, mind you. Little ones can see this, which is probably a good height. Like, I'm down on my knees. There's a which way bridge thing there. Okay, there's a couple of play sets here as well. Okay, in the middle collection, blah blah, and this one here. I was quite surprised to see what's here when I started digging. Yeah, it's a bit ratty and messy, but hey, they've been very, very busy, so we'll let them off. Okay, that was that zone down there, nice and low for little ones to see. I really wanted to get some of those greatest moments 80th anniversary packs, but they're not here. Maybe they have been here and been picked to death. I'll just go up here and show you what's here. In fact, there is an 80th anniversary item here. But before we get to that, I've actually spotted something that's, well, not that exciting in a sense. That's still here. I think that was here last time I was here. We've got Thomas Minis here. Bluey has blown into the area. There's a motorized Trackmaster blah blah there. Baby Fight AEG is up here. Not that much of it. The twin packs. There's 2 Percys here of AEG style, and miraculously, why am I getting excited? I shouldn't be. There's an 80th anniversary Nia. Okay, I will be grabbing that. So I'll just carefully put her there. Up here, we're going to go up to the Littlies. Okay, we've got Dark Canna, Paw Patrol Blow In. Okay, blah, blah, blah. You can see what's here if I go more like that. Okay, Carly the pig sitter is there. Nice to see Emily. You don't see Emily sitting around that much. Next one along, some more Emily's at the back. Carly, Gordon, Ashmir there. Okay, next one along, Whiffs at the back there. Carly, nice to see Hero here. Hero is one that you often don't see hanging about. Going up another one. You can see who's there. I don't have to explain them all to you. That one there. The newer stocks is Metal Collection. Okay, oh, Tandy the Flipper is here. Of course, she's a perennial forever peg sitter. Going along again, more Tandy the Stupid Flippers. Okay, Canna's in there, and this one here, Diesel's here. Notice not many Diesels. Okay, Thomas, Tandy, Canna, and more Stupid Flippers up the back as usual. Anyway, thinking positive, at least I found one item. I have a strong suspicion that the resellers are coming in and stripping the stores of this stuff. It's obviously been here, but that's the only piece that's here. If I go back here like this, I'll go from the bottom and rake upwards. As you can see, there's a bit of blowing stuff here. Bluey often blows into Thomas's area, but do we ever see it happening the other way? No. And up to the pegged items. Look, it's actually pretty well stocked, and it's also split into 2 areas, which is a tad unusual. As I noticed in the other Big W mid-year toy sales I went to, Thomas doesn't have his own aisle out in the store like the other brands do, and again, Barbie is so well represented. Barbie is in your face everywhere. I can see more toys coming out onto the floor. I'm looking very carefully at these pallets, but I'm not seeing what I want to find. I've walked the whole store. I can see plenty of Bluey here for sale in the toy sale. He's our little Aussie hero, and the playset that I've been looking for as well is the Thomas and Friends, I'll just call it All Engines Go, the big cranky set. I can't see that anywhere at all, and I've looked all around this toy sale. It seems that it's gone and it's sold out, but it was a very, very good price, so I'm not surprised. On the way out, I've actually stumbled across something which has probably made this trip worthwhile. Can you see what I'm talking about? It's something that I've often spoken about that's very hard to find in any retailer, and that's a smaller scale, Minecraft movie figures. Now this one's called Man's Best Wolf, a Steve in diamond armor. I'm definitely going to get this. In fact, there's 3 here. Who knows, I might get all 3, as greedy as that sounds. It's on special for $19, normally $24. That there is definitely a keeper, because anything of this scale in the Minecraft or Minecraft movie stuff was incredibly hard to find. Sold out in just about every retailer. It was actually my son that put me onto this stuff, and I think the back of the packaging is going to tell us more about what's available. And it just reminded me, yeah, classic example, this is the stuff that was so hard to find, especially the Steve. The Creeper wasn't. These seem to be everywhere, but to find a wolf or the skeleton, you had to be very lucky to find any of those. That's going to seem greedy. I'm going to grab all of those. Makes this trip worthwhile. Okay, I'm back at my least favorite retailer. It's the 20th of June. It's the only store that carries Thomas & Friends stock in a very large shopping mall. Okay, I can see some good stuff here. It looks like there is new stock here. Thank God for that. There's a lot of stock here which is very similar to when I was in here about a week ago. I come here on a weekly basis. It's been very trying on me, but finally I've struck gold, and it's up here. In fact, there's a couple of areas where I've struck gold here. The wonderful 80th anniversary greatest moments 3-packs are here. They're a great price as well. Yeah, let's just have a quick look who's here. Okay, there's the Thomas with the Troublesome trucks. There's Gordon here, which is an interesting scaling going on here. Oh, beautiful, the Flying Scotsman. Again, the scaling in this one's very interesting. The scaling of this versus the engine. Very interesting. James is here. And another Thomas with the Troublesome trucks. Guess what? As greedy as it sounds, I'm going to get all of that stuff there. Yes, call me greedy. The really beautiful thing about this 80th anniversary stuff is this is the look of classic Thomas & Friends. This is all we ever wanted. Nobody ever asked for anything that looks like all engines go. The talking Nairs are here. They've been put on the shelf in a normal way, and someone laid a comment in saying one of these had a misprinted face. Well, let's go in and take a look at that. I've just spun them round for illustration purposes. Let me count them. I think there were 7 here last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's still 7 here. I'll drag the camera along here really slowly. I'll be honest here, I'm struggling to see the misprint. I can see that an eye on nearly all of these is drooping down to the nose. Honestly, I can't see where the problem is. Maybe you'll point it out to me and say, you silly, silly boy, can't you see it? I'm really looking carefully. Maybe, if anything, I think it's this one here, possibly has a bit of a skewed face. If I go front on like that, is that on crooked, or is that just normal Nia? I'll be honest here, I think it's fine. I'll spin all these back so they're facing the right direction. Okay, it's like magic. I'm a person of my word. Next to talking Nia is the motorized twin packs, and we're going to get a few surprises here. I've already had a bit of a peek. I got very excited. There's a canner there. There's a diesel there. Nothing wrong with diesel. I'm a diesel collector. Beautiful 80th anniversary Percy. Absolutely stunning. That's the keeper. 80th anniversary Thomas. That's the second one of these that I've got now. Let me just go in closer here. Okay, that line work looks better than one of the first that I picked up. Definitely a keeper. Okay, another Percy here. Should I grab Percy or let someone else enjoy Percy? Oh, cool, another Thomas here. Again, let me go in closer in that section there. That's interesting. That one's actually better than the other one that I showed. Yes, I'm definitely seeing, I'll just call it some different line work, the way it's lined up on the body of Thomas versus the running plate area. Interesting. Along from the 2-packs is the metal collection stuff, and to me it's much the same. I think there's a couple of whiffs that have drifted in, but it's the same players doing exactly the same things over and over. Well, coming up from the floor, there is so much stuff there that was here last time, but I am just very, very happy that finally the 80th anniversary Thomas & Friends stock has hit this store. The Thomas area is actually nice and big now. I just hope some more stock appears soon. I wonder who bought all that new stock that was on the shelves there. I wonder. Well, let's have an entertaining look at my local Kmart at the area where Thomas & Friends used to be. It's been gone for about a year now. Very sad to say it like that, because Thomas and Friends was in this store going right back to when it was Thomas and Friends Ertl Toys. A long time. There used to be a time when the Thomas and Friends aisle was basically double-sided across the whole aisle. Not anymore. Guess what, these days I'm looking in the area where it used to be, as in past tense. Thomas and Friends has been blown out of the store. I am just hoping that it comes back. I think there'll be other people as well hoping that one day Thomas and Friends will come back to Kmart Australia. Please bring it back. Okay, it's the 30th of June. I'm going to go to Target at Chatswood. I grew up in Chatswood. It's a lovely part of Sydney. I can't afford to live in Chatswood because the median house price is popped well over $3 million now. And I'm here in Chatswood because of the comments left by a couple of people who said they saw the Thomas and Friends stock here. Thank you to those people who leave the comments. Lovely for you to tell me. Okay, beautiful Target at Chatswood. Another really busy day here. Okay, I'm in the zone. I've just got to find out where Thomas and Friends resides. Well, I looked up that, and it's actually a big toy area in this Target. It's huge, and this is the baby fight end. Thomas and Friends is down here, and it's actually got a large area. There it is there. I'll just do a big wide shot here first, and I'll go to the ground. Unfortunately, it's mostly, or nearly all engines go stock. That's the end of aisle display. I don't really need to discuss any of this stuff here. It really doesn't pull me in. Maybe the pick here is the Percy 6-in-1 set, the new variation, and there's more of them down here as well. I always say that's the set to get. You've got to give that one the thumbs up. Looking down the aisle now, I don't need to explain everything here. There's not many 2-packs here. I can just see Diesel, I think it's Canna and Canna. Okay, no one else. Okay, I can see an 80th stock here. It's a Flying Scotsman here, so that's definitely going to be something I pick up. That's the first thing that I found, 80th anniversary, but what's above it? Guess who? Talking Nia. That's astonishing. It's almost the same as my local Target. Let me just count the Nias here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give us some love, please. Poor Nia, definitely a big time peg setter. Next to her is a bit of baby fight All Engines Go. Okay, Bruno. Next to Bruno is the Metal Collection. We've got Sandy the Stupid Slipper there, but the rest look like it's Bruno going on there. Below that is I think it's a fantastic pack, the 5-pack, All Engines Go. No name, I've totally forgotten his name already. The rest of the stock looks like this. It's all Engines Go. Playsets, if you're into All Engines Go playsets, this is absolutely the mecca. Okay, and I'll just go like that and I'll crawl up there. A lot of playsets here. Actually, I see something a little bit wonky in there. What's going on here? Let's see what's here. Oh, okay. That reminds me of the part of town where I live. Look, no matter where you live, there's always rat bags around, hey? Well, it wasn't a totally wasted trip. I have found one Flying Scotsman here. At least that is telling me there was the 80th anniversary stock here. It seems to be the last piece that's left here. And my advice is very simple. If you see this stuff and it's fairly short supplied in stores and there's very few retailers that sell this in Australia, get it and flog it online. Look, it'd be probably the easiest dough you could make in your life. I'll tell you what, in box this does look good, but what worries me is the scaling of the tenders there. Why have they used what I'll call the Trackmaster 2 tenders on what is, we'll call it Trackmaster 4? So yes, it's proving to be a little bit tricky to find, but I was half expecting that, and don't you worry, this little puppy is definitely coming with me. Before I leave here, I'll scan this to see how much it is. My God, it's cheap as chips. Yeah, this is a very tricky toy hunt indeed. I'm going to be strong, I am going to be resilient, and maybe for the fact I'm finding the remnants of what was the 80th anniversary stock in store is telling us that it's selling. But I do wonder who exactly is it selling to. Okay, for shits and giggles, I'm back at my least favourite local retailer that carries Thomas and Friends stock. It's now July, the early days of July. I'm going to see if the new classic Thomas and Friends stock has appeared here. It was here a little while back. I found a few things here, but not much. Oh, fripping hell. I can't find it here. I'm over this. This is such a frustrating toy hunt, and I'm not going to be broken by it. Like I said before, I'm going to try to be as resilient as possible, but I tell you what, it's freaking testing me. Okay, what I can see here still is the Nias, but I think there's a couple that have been sold. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty sure there were 7 here before. I don't think there's any hiding behind there. Got to be completely honest with what we show here. So at least someone's showing some love to Nia. I suppose just be happy that there's actually a whole aisle of Thomas & Friends stuff. But the problem here is, like the Chatswood store, a lot of it is these all engines go playsets. There's a lot of these diesel sets here. They seem to be really clogging up this store here. Of course, Bulstrode blah blah is always clogging around. This thing here is going to be around for another 1,000 years. And maybe the last thing we'll take a look at here to get a bit of light laughs is, oh look, guess who's still here? Thandy the stupid flipper. I think there's even more of it here now. That's just amazing. It is their big toy sale on here at the moment. Is there anything here that's sticking out at me and I could buy and have a bit of fun with? Well, unfortunately, no. The thing that I really want is that classic Thomas & Friends 80th anniversary stuff. I'll tell you what, is frighteningly hard to find. Of course, for all I know, there may have been more 80th anniversary stock put into the store. It may have already sold. And I've got that sneaky feeling that I'm up against the resellers grabbing the stock out of these stores. And of course, what they are doing is they are selling it online at a premium price. If I was as smart as them, I'd be doing exactly the same. Okay, this is 5 days from when I was last here. It's now officially the school holidays. It's my least favorite store, but it's anyone that carries Thomas & Friends. I'm looking for the new classic Thomas & Friends stuff. Do you think I'm going to find it? Just walking along here. Will I get excited? I think there's less Nias here. It looks like we're down to 4. Do it like that. I think there's only 4 left. It looks like, my goodness me, there's some new stock up there. Okay, we've got Metal Collection Gordon, which is nice to see. It was a bit shy on this type of thing. We've got Hero, Ashima, and the Carly. The cranes are still here. Guess who's still here? Da, da, da. Oh, the ultimate big sitter. But as crazy as this sounds, it looks much the same, and I will do a bit of a tidy up here even though I don't work here. It looks like possibly some of these are sold because they are now pushed back. Okay, so if you do that, I should present them forward, because if you present stuff forward, it looks much nicer, huh? Okay, I've done both of those. It's interesting, the price tag says Bluey's Tradies Ute. That's definitely not Bluey's Tradies Ute. I will tidy up these here as well, in a nice way. We've got to get Nia selling, so I'll put her up front. While thinking in there, I will splay out Nia's up here. We're down to 4. So we had 7, I think it went to 5. I hope I remember my numbers there. So the toy sale is on. It's probably making the Nia sell. I mean, she's got to be sold at some point. The Thomas Minis have gone from this top shelf, but these track pack buckets, they seem to be quite popular. They disappear and appear, so there must be stock coming out from the back. And I'll just present it forward, and who knows, you know, they might give me a job here. Anything's possible. Okay, there we go. Mattel will give me an award for tidying up the Thomas & Friends area here, but unfortunately and frustratingly, I cannot find that new Thomas & Friends 80th anniversary stuff. It is really, really tricky to find. Okay, this is now the 11th of July, and back to my least favorite store, but this is the only one that carries Thomas & Friends stock. I mean, I've said it over and over and over. Just having a look there. Oh my goodness, my fripping God. Okay, I'll come back to this. Okay, anyway, the top shelf here, I'm looking for more of the 80th stock here. There's 3 talking Nias here. I'm just over to do that. They all talk to each other and annoy everyone. Or maybe they've run out of battery. Along here, it looks like stuff has sold, except for guess who hasn't sold? That Freddy, the stupid flipper. There seems to be more of those Percy 6-in-1 sets, AEG style. And really, down on the rest of the shelving here, it doesn't look that much different to when I was in here. Oh, not that long back. I sort of come in here weekly, would be the best way of saying it. Okay, I don't need to explain that stuff there. We've already spoken about all that stuff there. But the gold, oh my God, I can't believe this. It does prove the 80th anniversary stuff has come into the store. Okay, it's this big set here. It looks spiffo. There's another set there behind it. Let me take a look at the back. Okay, this looks awesome. This is the way this stuff should have been done a long time ago. I can see there's other engines depicted on the back here. I don't think it comes with all those engines. Wouldn't it be lovely if it did? Where's that all-important panel that tells me the good, the bad, and the ugly? I think it's that there. Let's take a quick look at that there. Okay, it's 26 pieces. You get Thomas with a piece of rolling stock there, and these are the other bits. What are little barrels or something there? Track parts. Okay. Nice little bridge there. Nice, good old-fashioned looking bridge. Nice little turntable there, and bits and bobs that look very interesting. Maybe I'm not seeing a one-trick pony there, which is, you know, Thomas Awesome. Let's take a very quick look at the Thomas in this set. It's the conventional Thomas, the white running board there, or partial, should I say. It looks like a bit of sketchy painting there, but hey, it's, yeah, maybe he's done some hard work. The eyes are a bit derpy, which I quite like. Yeah, that looks Thomas Awesome in my books. So it's called the Load and Launch Barrel Delivery Set. That is definitely coming home with me. Thought this day'd never come, frippin' finally. Before I escape from here, let me barcode this. When you move this box around, it makes a dingly sound. Oh, barcode. Okay, what's the price? Oh, wow, okay, $79.20. It's actually a $99 Thomas & Friends set. Well, I'm telling you, buy it. Okay, it's the middle of July. I'm in the city. There's two places I'm going to go to take a look to see if I can find the new Thomas & Friends 80th anniversary stuff. Okay, this is the 14th of July of 2025. I'm in the My City store, and I've done a big study in here leading up to Christmas of last year of the Thomas & Friends stock. It's now in a slightly different area. Of course, I'm looking for the 80th anniversary stuff. Now, I've already looked through here. It's not here. It is, or can be, hidden, because you're looking for the little 80th tag. It can look very similar to other stock, and just trust me on this, it's nowhere to be seen here. Okay, so you can see who's here. I have to say there's a lot of stuff here, but it's all AEG-ized. A lot of baby-fied AEG like that there. I'll do that there. You can see what's there. We are looking for that 80th badge, and there's none to be seen here. Okay, so there's some, yeah, 3 packs from, I'll just say they've been hanging around for a long time. That's stuff like that. Another layer of 3 packs here, no 80th tag to be seen. Okay, a bit of Thomas Wooden Railway, I think, if you, sorry for a horrible shadow there. If you believe what's being said, they say it's been run out of town. I think this Henry has been around like that for months. Okay, he's still here to be sold. More of the Thomas Wooden Railway there. Okay, the Bulstrode Bridge, blah blah. Bit more Thomas Wooden Railway hiding up the top there. Again, with these, you got to look for the 80th stamp on the top, and you can see who's there. And what we're not seeing is the new stock. It's all Thomas & Friends, all engines go. Mind you, there is going to be a time when this stuff's worth a bit of dough. Moving on to here, it's all the baby-fied, all engines go. I don't think that ever really gathered any traction. These playsets here, oh man, these will be around for thousands of years to come. But in essence, the story here is, and I'll go back here to look at the island out the front here very quickly. There is no 80th anniversary Thomas & Friends stuff here. Very disappointing. While I'm in the My City store, there's a fantastic range here of Tonys, or is it Tonys? I'm not familiar with this, but I do know there's a Thomas & Friends characters in this range. It's something that you sit on the box, I think it tells a story, or it probably plays music. I haven't got one. If I had one, I could tell you more. But what I do notice here is the Thomas & Friends peg is pegged out. But as I've seen so often, all they've got here is Percy, and it's all engines go style Percy. Just letting you see this. Maybe you've got one of these. Maybe you know more about this than I do. But as I've seen, when I've seen this in store, all there is here is Percy's. Okay, of course, there is going to be a Thomas the Tank appear at one point, but as yet, I cannot find it. Okay, I'll purely get one as for something for my collection, if that makes any sense. Okay, so yeah, Tonys, whatever they're called. And my son got excited. He is with me today. He said, look Dad, they got a SpongeBob, so you can put SpongeBob on the box there and it does its thing. Okay, yeah, it's got, I'll tell you one thing about this, they have got many multiple franchises involved here, which is, I think, very good. They must have done a sweet deal with all of these different franchises who have a variety of owners. But hey, I'm just waiting for the Thomas the Tank to appear in the Thomas & Friends realm of the Tonys. Okay, very quickly, I'm in Hobbyco City Store, the major store, and this is the only Thomas & Friends stuff that's left behind. I'm just going to walk through here like this. It's all Thomas Wooden Railway, end of the line. Okay, it's all marked down. It's actually a very good price. And if I go like this, you'll see what's on the bottom there. I've just got to act quickly here because it's the school holidays. There's a lot of people here. And yeah, maybe while I'm here, because I collect diesel, I might come in and get a few diesels. Diesel at $15, cheap as chips. Yeah, of course I'm going to get a couple of diesels. Okay, back to my local least favorite retailer. Looking at the Thomas & Friends area, this is now the 18th of July. Okay, last time I was in here, I picked up one of the 80th play sets, and there were 3 of them here before, and it looks like there's only 1 left. Okay, so there's this one here. There were 3 here before. Maybe I didn't say that. Yeah, and I think that's just the greatest moments, Thomas, on that. I might have said the wrong thing back when I looked at that, but I think that's an absolutely spectacular must-buy. That's a great set. Okay, I'll just proudly present it up front here. Okay, I'll talk about the top 2 shelves here. There's no more Thomas Minis left here. They have been fairly popular in their re-release. There's 3 of those track packs there. It's about the only track packs you can get if it comes to motorized, or Trackmaster 3 and Trackmaster 4, whatever you want to call it. Walking along here, it looks like the talking Nears have certainly sold. We're down to our last talking Near. Hooray! She does sell. Is it one that works? Okay, yep, she's talking, but she's got no one to talk to. Okay, and walking along here, we've got our metal collection stuff. Looks like a Carly has flipped off the peg here. I'll do the right thing. Reset Carly the crane, and guess what? Fandy the stupid flipper still doesn't sell. A lot of the other stuff here is self-explanatory. I keep looking at these sets and they do not sell, and I'm totally spooked now for the fact that Thomas isn't blue, and it's something I didn't even point out until a consumer said to me, the problem with this set is very simple. Thomas isn't blue. Very interesting to hear it from the cold face of the consumer. Walking along here, a bit of, looks like Paw Patrol slipped in there. These baby-fired all engines go Knapford blah blah with James. Never ever gonna sell. They're just sitting here pretty. This motorized set here with diesel, this is a very, very bloated out set. I see this set in many places. I think the diesel and everything's fantastic in this, but I'm not that crash hot on Troublesome trucks that have the side missing, although it's got a little special feature. There's a lot of those sets here. I mean, a lot, okay? And down the bottom here, we've got that baby table thing there, a couple of those there. And walking along here, looks like one of the Bulstrode bridge blah blahs, all engines go talking. And then a couple of the wonderful Percy Flying 1 sets. That's the Thomas area there. I'm crawling up from the bottom, going up towards the top. It's very frustrating trying to find this 80th anniversary stuff. I've spent a month, blown up a whole bunch of time, traveled a whole bunch of distance to try to find this stuff. This is really, really nagging me. I'll piss that off and put it over there somewhere. So there's definitely plenty of space here for the new 80th anniversary Thomas & Friends stock to land here. I have picked up a little bit of it here. Who knows, it might be installed into here and the resellers are grabbing this and then flogging it online. I'm not here every day. I try to come in here at least, well, weekly. And let's just pray for Nia. One prayer for Nia, please. Let this last talking Nia get sold. She needs a home. Oh wow, as I was finishing up here, a family came into the Thomas & Friends area, and guess what they bought? Guess what's not there now? Yeah, the 80th anniversary set, the classic set, is gone, and there was this wonderful boy called Sam. His father was here called Harry, and Mum was here as well. I've forgotten her name. I'll tell you what, Sam knew everything, in capital letters, everything about Thomas & Friends. And his insight into the franchise is always something that I can feed off. He was teaching me stuff that I didn't know about. And we got talking about what he liked and disliked, and the way he analysed All Engines Go was, well, that's for babies. I mean, I'm hearing this from a child, or a young boy. He wasn't a child. He got into Thomas & Friends in Big World, Big Adventures era, but I'm pretty sure he said to me he cited the end of the model era. Back when they did the CGI faces on top of the models, he liked that era a lot. So, wow, you know, he talked about the distortion of characters, how Diesel 10 ended up with a happy face. He preferred it when it was cranky. You know what I mean? It was just the basics, the stuff that Mattel never ever quite understood. And of course, he looked at that 80th anniversary set here. He just couldn't believe it. It's a little bit like when I look at it as well. I said, oh my God, we've waited so long for it to be done right. And Sam, I mean, you couldn't walk out of here without Sam taking that playset away. Even his dad said it looks fantastic. You know what I mean? But why do we have to go through so much pain and agony and just distortion to get to this point? This should have been made right 10, 12, 13 years ago. But meeting Sam was just fantastic. I tell you, it just gave me this amazing feeling. Okay, you know this place. Guess where I am again. Okay, this is the 26th of July. This is Big W, Macquarie Centre. I'm in the Thomas and Friends area, and it is extremely depressing to see what I find here, and basically to see what I can't find here. Okay, we've got a whole stack of empty pegs there. You can't make a cent from an empty peg. And on the other side here, we have that there. Okay, got some metal collection cannons going on there. We've got a couple of diesels, and I think Bruno's hanging out the back, and we've got one Fendi the Stupid Flipper on the peg. A couple of boxes of the revamped Thomas Minis, Series 1, and we've got a whole bunch of those wacky RC Thomases that don't have enough wheels. And we've got some baby-fied AEG. Guess what? It's all Percy. Moving along, we've got the 5-pack that just doesn't seem to sell. All engines go. I think it's called Construction Crew, blah, blah. And there's a lot of them here, and I keep thinking back to that consumer that said to me, you know what? When Thomas isn't blue, that's a big problem. On the bottom shelves, it's out there. I don't need to explain that stuff. I just see it everywhere all the time, and All Engines Go playsets on that side there. But the stuff that's very tricky to find, I'm hoping it's been here. I'm hoping it's been sold out. It's very good stuff. The 80th anniversary stuff, very hard to find. And normally, the 3-packs would be residing in this zone here. It's been taken over by a dinosaur. Yeah, welcome to Thomas and Friends 2025. Well, this is proving to be a very, very, very tricky toy hunt to find the Thomas and Friends 80th anniversary stuff. Maybe for the fact I'm not finding it is the best signal we've ever had for a long, long time.
Oh my flipping God, thank God that's over. He spent flipping 6 weeks looking for that new 80th anniversary Thomas and Friends stuff, and he didn't find very much. All he did was he blew up a whole bunch of time, and he blew up a whole bunch of money. I mean, anyone with flipping common sense would buy this crap online. Anyway, I'm going to help this loser out because I've got out of control, and I'm going to make the thumbnail for this video. I'll do the thumbnail for this video because this flipping loser wouldn't know a good thumbnail for him in the face. Oh, that flipping cat's here. Go away, pussy. Pussy cat, go away. Flipping thing, he loves that cat. I don't know why. It's covered in fur and it makes me sneeze. Flipping hell, stop already. I can't push the wagon in here like this. Go flipping hell. Okay, somebody smashed the crap out of this little toy. Flipping hell. What sort of psychopath did this? I had to meet that person in a dark alley. Flipping hell may be dangerous. Okay, that looks good like that. Okay, looking cute. And I'll just get Thomas's little front section here. Oh my God, imagine flogging that on eBay. I could put that up on eBay for a couple of $1,000 and some flipping loser would be conned into buying it, thinking it's rare and special. I'll just get his little front pieces like something like that. Oh, okay, yeah, just push it nice and gently. Oh, I think that would make a very, very good little thumbnail. And the trick is just stand back and take a look. Flipping that cat. That cat's making me oh, flipping hell. Just look back here and think, is it looking a bit busy? I might take that flipping wagon away. It might look better without the flipping wagon. Yeah, it's like the concept, less is more. Do you know that concept? I just push the wagon away there, a little flipping wheel. Yeah, less is more concept. You could sort of think of it like this. You could have a lot less Thomas the Tanks if you had a lot more Mr. Hammer. I'll just turn this up here. Yeah, okay, let's take a look at that. Hey, yeah, less is more. But hey, it sort of looked cool the other way as well. Hey, Thomas, looks like you've had a bit of a smashing day. Okay, roll the big camera and play this slow.